Okay. So Path of Exile recently dropped Dawn of the Hunt. And if I'm being honest, I don't really love it. But I don't necessarily hate it either. I guess the issue that I'm having with Path of Exile right now is that it just seems like there's a disconnect between the players and the developers. And we've seen this in other games. We've seen this in World of Warcraft with, Blizzard developers and their player base. We've seen it with, Destiny and their player base, and it seems to always happen at some point or another, especially when things change within a company. But it just seems right now that there is somewhat of a disconnect between the direction that Path of Exile wants to go in its gameplay versus the player base that it has acquired over time and what they're used to, and trying to get their player base to conform to these new changes. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not super for it, especially when I saw them put in the parry system. That was kind of the first sign for me where I was just like, you know, I don't necessarily know if not only does this even fit in the game, because it makes no sense that I'm playing an RPG and I'm like, oh, please hit my evasion based character so that I can benefit and get these charges so that I can do this backflip so that my damaging skill does some cool ability. And it's kind of like, what am I even doing at this point? I mean, we've seen the interviews, we've seen other streamers make comments. The comment where feels like we're playing Path of Exile 2, but the AI is still playing Path of Exile 1. That's a very real comment, and I honestly resonate with that a lot because that's exactly how it feels when you're trying to play the game the way that the developers are intending for you to play the game. However, it seems that if you just ignore the way that the developers are intending you to play the game actually becomes more enjoyable. Why do all the parry system mechanics or stack armor when I can just do lightning spear and click a button and wipe an entire screen? Well, now I'm playing Path of Exile 1, but because the development is going in one way, that means the build variety for simple builds like this is diminishing. It's not going to get bigger. It's potentially going to get smaller if the development or the developers to continue to go in this direction. So that being said, I have recently tried Last Epoch. I picked it up yesterday, just kind of on a whim. Yeah, I saw a lot of other Path of Exile streamers talking about it, and I figured, what the heck, why not give it a shot? So, my first impressions are okay. It's definitely not as complex. And honestly, at this point of my ARPG career, I'm I'm kind of wondering, at what point do I want my game to not be so complex anymore. Path of Exile 1 was kind of an exception because it was a lot of original ideas that were coming out, which is great. But the thing about having an original idea is that there's no testing behind that original idea until you put it out there. And if it flops, then it flops. And if it's great, then, well, let's keep it in the game. Or, let's try to fix it or make it better. And, it eventually got to the point to where Path of Exile had 60,000 mechanics in it because they're like, oh, let's try this new thing. Oh, well, that was good. Let's try this new thing. Oh, well, that wasn't great. But by the time we got to the end of the league, oh, it got better. Um, so too many systems, too many complexities at this point in my gaming career. I don't know how much research I really want to put into this. I don't know how much effort I want to put into this. Like I'm a streamer. I literally, am trying to play games for a living, and even at this point, I'm like, to achieve what I want to achieve in Path of Exile 2, it just doesn't feel worth it. So some of the simplicities in Last Epoch have been great. The crafting system, I would say, was the first thing that I kind of looked at and was like, what is this? I'm getting all these crafting materials. They all have their individual things that they do. And then there's this crafting menu. Apparently, I can open it whenever I want. And then it wants an item. And then it's got the plus symbols on the prefix. Plus, so like, at first glance, I was like, oof, I don't know. This seems a little much for a new player. But yeah, honestly, once I, gave it 5 minutes and looked, I was like, whoa, wait, this is actually not too bad. And I think I crafted a sword or something. And that's when I realized I was like, oh wait, I can just start crafting on any piece of item I put on. If it's missing something, I can just click it and go, okay, well, as long as I have one of these crafting items, then I can put this on, you know my missing suffix on my boots. Or then I realized you can upgrade the existing mods. You can upgrade a mod but use a scroll, so after it upgrades it changes to a different mod. So maybe I have mana on it, and mana is kind of useless but everything else is kind of good. Then maybe I can upgrade the mana mod but use the scroll to change it into something else, and now maybe I have a useful mod. Long story short, the crafting is pretty good. I like it. I don't have that. I mean, I got to like, I don't even think I'm level 40 yet. And the servers just went down so they can prep everything. But yeah, no, I thought the crafting was great. I think the passive skill system is pretty good. I think I like the idea that you have your base class that you can put points into, and then you have your mastery, which is like your subclass that you can put points into. So, maybe you're doing cyclone, maybe you're doing cyclone like I'm doing, and maybe you want to do it so that you just have a huge AoE and you do a ton of physical damage. Maybe you want to play it that you're stacking bleeds. Maybe you want to play it like I am, where you're converting your physical damage and melee into void damage, and then you're kind of like doing this void explosions while you're spinning in a circle. And it's doing damage over time. There's so many different ways you can play one skill, that it was relieving to see that although I'm not playing Path of Exile, there's still many different ways that I can try to do what I want to do, instead of going, okay, ooh, now I need to decide, do I want to spend 6 hours on a path of building sheet and start putting together a build and put together some ideas and see what uniques I want to put together, or some rare gear. And it's just I don't know if I want to do all that right now. And in Last Epoch, I really felt like, okay, well, let me try this. Okay, well, let me try this. Okay, well, it looks like we can respec, so that's good. The only thing about the respec system that's kind of weird is the whole like, when you respec, you get points based on your minimum level that you've acquired. So then you have to re-level to get the points that you lost. For example, if you are, level 11 or 12 or 13 and your minimum level is 5, then if you respec your skills, then you go back basically to level 5 in terms of skill points, and then you have to level up to get those skills back. I don't quite know how it works because I haven't really needed to respec yet, but I will say that it's weird. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I hate it. I don't even know if it's staying in the game. That could be changing. I don't know. Apparently, season 2 has a lot of people hyped up uh, in the in just the ARPG community, because they've made a lot of improvements on their game that people didn't like. And I would say in the first couple hours of me playing the game, there were definitely some things that I wasn't too fond of, but the community quickly hopped in and was like, "Oh no, they're fixing that in 2 days. Oh no, they're also fixing that in 2 days. Oh yeah, they're making that better in 2 days." I'm like, okay, well, if I'm loving everything about this game so far, and everything that I don't really love about the game seems to be getting better in 2 days, then it sounds like this is going to be the game for me for a while. The charm that it has when you get in and you can pick a skill and you don't feel super slow, and you can shred through mobs early, but you still get to gain power, but it doesn't feel like you're getting super overpowered. But you were definitely gaining some strength, but you're also gaining some class identity pretty quickly. I don't know. It just has a certain charm that gets you hooked early, like really early. Like you almost don't want to log off because you just want to keep killing monsters. I found myself in zones killing monsters I didn't even really need to kill just because I was enjoying killing monsters. Whereas in Path of Exile 2, it's like I'm literally spending most of the time in the zone going, where am I? Where am I going? Why are all these mobs swarming me? Like, granted, there have definitely been some changes in Path of Exile 2 that I think are good. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate the game. And this video is definitely not to talk down on the game or the developers, but there are clearly mis miscommunications between the developers and the community, or just a sheer disconnect where we're playing through this going, why is your campaign 15 hours? And when I say 15 hours, that's like 15 hours for me, someone who has time. Like, I've been playing Path of Exile 1 since Breach League. It's been years since I've been in this ARP genre. I played Diablo 1, I played Diablo 2, I played Diablo 3, I played Diablo 4, I played Path of Exile 1, I played Path of Exile 2. I'm playing Last Epoch. I have experience in this genre. Path of Exile 2 right now in their campaign feels like ass. It's not good. And it makes me sad because I've loved that game for so long, but currently I don't love it. So going through Last Epoch, I just want to put out this video to say I think this is kind of where the stream is going to be at for a bit. Um, Obviously, I love Marvel Rivals, but I just don't see myself getting super competitive into Marvel Rivals and making content and all that right now. I like putting out the shorts on TikToks. I think Marvel Rivals on TikToks is really cool. I love playing Marvel Rivals. Um, but man, there's the community is so toxic when you're playing that it actually wears on me mentally. And I'm a pretty mentally strong person. I've been playing. I mean, I was in Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, back in the day, back in middle school. I can I can take it like the best of them. But man, it's a whole lot of brain rot in there. Dude, there's a whole lot of people that just they seem to have opinions about everyone else except themselves, And it's like I'm not trying to listen to all that. And it's like, yeah, I could turn the audio off and not have to listen to people, but honestly, it's like why should I have to do that in a competitive lobby? But the community right now is just super toxic, super annoying. And so I kind of need a break. I just want to play something where I can have fun and chill and enjoy the game that I'm playing, but also make new friends along the way. I love when new people come in a stream. I love when people go, "Do you have a build guide?" And I go, "Dude, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'll make a guild guide for you." Sure. You know? So yeah, Last Epoch, it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, this game's kind of hype. If it's only getting better with the next season tomorrow, then sheesh, dude. I, I mean, GGG might need to watch out because this game might not have its complexities, but it's it's got enough complexity to where it's viable. It looks like it has replayability. Now, granted, I'm not in the end game yet. Once we get into the end game, that's a whole different story. That then I'll have opinions on replayability in the long run, and is this game going to be something I play for years? Is it something I'm just going to come back to play through the season for a week and dip? Is it something where Path of Exile, a good season, and Path of Exile 1 at least could hold my attention for a month, month and a half, 2 months, and sometimes rarely on occasion back in the day, I would last through an entire league. I can't imagine lasting through an entire league today. I'm sorry. And not in Path of Exile 2. But if Last Epoch can give me that hooked, addictive feeling of just one more map, just one more map, just one more map, then yeah, this game, I mean, this is it. This is what I'm gonna be on for a while. Anywho, thanks for hanging out. I'm nerfed. If you didn't know, this is my YouTube channel. I'm a variety streamer, so I post all sorts of content. I stream on Twitch, I stream on TikTok, and occasionally I stream on YouTube. for now, currently, it's mainly Twitch and TikTok, and then depending on how the directions go, it may stay that way. It could change. Maybe we do YouTube. I don't really know. TikTok seems to be really good for being seen as a new streamer, whereas Twitch seems to be really good for retention, viewers over time. Of course, the subs always help if you're an affiliate. I've been an affiliate of quite a while, so the subs do help. But yeah, so anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, have fun playing games. Bye.